Well, hello everybody. Todd Stalker here with eXp Realty, and I am reading a blog post about why home loans today aren't what they were in the past from the KCM Keeping Current Matters blog. And I've been working with my last couple of clients I've been working with have been asking me the question, is this like the 2008, 2009 housing bubble? Are we in the process of just losing everything? And quick answer, no. It's a lot different. And let me go ahead and read from the blog and talk about what is different from now from then. So again, in today's housing market, like I said, many people are wondering if we're returning to riskier lending habits and borrowing options that led to that housing crash 15 years ago. Several times a year, the Mortgage Bankers Association, the MBA, releases an index titled the Mortgage Credit Availability Index, the MCAI. So basically, this index determines how easy it is to get a mortgage. The higher the index, the more available mortgage credit becomes. So check this out. Here's a graph of the MCAI dating back to 2004 when the data first became available. And I'm glad it did because it captured what happened in 2006, 7, 8, 9. So as the graph shows, the index stood at about 400 in 2004. Mortgage credit became more available as the housing market heated up, and then the index passed 850 in 2006. When the real estate market crashed, so did MCAI as mortgage money became almost impossible to secure. Thankfully, lending standards have eased somewhat since then, but the index is still pretty low. I mean, look at it in April, the index was at 121, which is about 1/7 of what it was in 2006. So why did the index get out of control during the housing bubble? Well, the main reason was the availability of loans with extremely weak lending standards. To keep up with demand in 2006, many mortgage lenders offered loans that put little emphasis on the eligibility of the borrower. I mean, lenders were approving loans without always going through a verification process to confirm if the borrower would likely be able to repay the loan. Now, here's from my own personal example. Back then, 2006, 7, 8, I was a pastor in Phoenix, Arizona, and we were building a house, kind of our dream home, and we qualified for about $850,000 on a pastor's salary. So that is a little bit crazy, a little bit nuts. So that I lived that period, and I'll tell you that other story, what happened with that house later, which is really sad. But let's continue reading the blog. An example of the relaxed lending standards leading up to the housing crash is the FICO credit score associated with a loan. So basically, a FICO score tells lenders about your credit worthiness. During the housing boom, many mortgages were written for borrowers with a FICO score, get this, under 620. While there are still loan programs that allow for a 620 score, today's lending standards are much, much tighter. Lending institutions overall are much more attentive about measuring risk when approving loans. According to the latest household debt and credit report from the New York Federal Reserve, the median credit score on all mortgage loans originated in the first quarter of 2022 was a credit score of 776. 776. So here's another graph. This graph shows the billions of dollars in mortgage money given annually to borrowers with a credit score under 620. I mean, take a look. 2003, 2004, 5, all of the money, $350 billion, $400 billion. And now look, after the housing crash, look at how it's mellowed out. So in 2006, buyers with a score of 620 received $376 billion in loans. In 2021, that number was only $80 billion, and it's only $20 billion now in the first quarter of 2022. So basically, the bottom line is in 2006, lending standards were much more relaxed with very little appreciation and evaluation done to measure a borrower's potential to repay their loan. But today, especially if you've gone to try and get a loan, standards are tighter. And the risk is reduced for both lenders and the borrowers. These are two completely different markets, and today is nothing like the last time. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that answered the question as to why it won't be kind of the busting bubble like it was in 2006, 7, 8, 9. As I mentioned before on my other social media, we are now easing into a neutral market from a hot seller's market the last 18 months, now into a more neutral market. So if you are interested in buying or selling property, let me know, even on the commercial side. Just go ahead and make a comment below or text me directly, connect with me directly. Love to help you out. We have a team of many realtors on our team, plus administrative and marketing and the whole bit. So we are your team in the Twin Cities. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.